Hey everybody, we're here. 5 for Talking, new episode. I'm here with Cap, the host of the show. You know how he does. He's usually my special guest, but today he's the guy. So we're gonna jump into this one because that's what we do best. So what do you
Go
have?
for it.
No, bring
No, no,
me
no, no.
bring me
Go
yours.
for it.
Bring me yours. Okay, I'll bring you mine. Alex Galchenyuk got traded to the Leafs. It's not like fresh, amazing news here, but I need to like address two things. Okay, so first, the trade that they made with Ottawa made with Carolina. So they got Cedric Paquette and Alex Galchenyuk for Ryan Zingle. So the only thing I can think of here is that Ottawa made that trade because Zingle's contract expires next year, and they're going to try to trade him at the deadline as a rental. And I don't understand anything from the Carolina side because you ended up with two AHL scrubs I've never heard of in my life from the Leafs in the Leaf trade. And then Paquette. I guess that's all you really wanted because I don't get it. But for the Leafs, like I get it. You didn't trade really anything to get him, but you take on salary cap for what?
The guy that Carolina got, one of the guys, Korchkov, scored one goal in his first game, in his only game for the Leafs.
Is that the? Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't get the trade. You saw my message in the chat. I don't understand the trade.
I felt
don't
like you would be the guy to come to with this information because I honestly don't even see for either one of those trades really, except that Ottawa gets more trade bait at the deadline. Other than that, for those three teams involved in that trade, there's no reason to make this trade.
No, I don't understand what the purpose was to get Galchenyuk, unless it's just more depth players for their Marlies team, because I don't see this guy making the roster.
Okay, so I got something on that, but I'll bring that in a second. So for me, like I said, Ottawa gets trade bait. Carolina gets salary cap space, which makes me think that they're probably going to try to do something at the deadline really big. But for the Leafs, I can't even make sense of it. Like I hear what you're saying, and I don't get it. So this is what I heard through the grapevine, and so I actually checked this out because I didn't believe it. There's no real information on it, but multiple sites are reporting that Galchenyuk is there to replace VC. What happened to VC that I don't know about? I don't understand.
I did see somewhere that the VC experiment is sort of coming to an end because he hasn't been doing anything for the last few, maybe 7 games.
So
he hasn't done anything.
Do you think that's what it's about?
I don't think replacing him with Galchenyuk is an upgrade.
I think it's a lateral move.
I think they both are. I think VC looks like it's not working out, but I don't understand what the point is bringing in Galchenyuk, because if there are 4 teams that didn't want him, what makes you think? What makes you think that he'll work out with this squad?
The only thing I can think of, okay, is that you're going to use him to package him for something, and I really don't.
Nobody wants him.
I know, I get it, but there's like, you also have VC that nobody wants. You also have a few players that nobody wants, but then in Calgary, your favorite guy, Sam Bennett, that apparently nobody wants. So I'm not trying to change the subject here, but I'm going to just deflect it to something else as part of this. Like I could see, like maybe.
So you take on 2 players that nobody wants, and VC and Galchenyuk?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's
you bury VC in the Marlies squad.
I'm trying. There's no Marlies team, so there's no point.
There's no Marlies team. They just started the AHL like last week.
Oh, did they? I didn't see that. I honestly didn't see that.
AHL just started up last week.
I don't want him anywhere. I don't even want him on my Marlies team. Maybe
come on, man. Like I'm just saying, like bury that contract in the Marlies squad. They don't need him then.
Maybe, yeah, but you still take on that in your salary cap.
Why?
Because your AHL team counts in your salary cap.
Okay, so then what was the point of taking on Alex?
Yeah, I know. The only thing I can think of now that you said that is that maybe you're just trying to have a legit NHL player playing in your AHL team to give them some kind of like leg
He
up.
sucks. He's not even a legit NHL player
listen,
anymore.
I'm not arguing your point. I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. And we kept talking about Sam Bennett, which I also don't want. But in Calgary, they've benched him, and so I'm assuming that they're still going to try to push for a trade. But the rumor that I heard is that nobody wants, like, the trades that Calgary wants, and everyone's turning them down. Like, when the Leafs are coming to them, whoever, they're saying, no, we want this, and the team's like, no, forget it. So
Fair enough. I mean,
they
you don't
released
want
a
to
statement.
overtrade for that guy.
Yeah, no kidding. And Calgary's holding him to too high. If they want to just get rid of him, they need to get rid of him. The Flames released a statement saying that they will control what happens with Bennett's future, not Bennett or the agent. So
which should happen.
Yeah. So
which is what's supposed to happen.
Apparently the agent has been getting in the way a lot. Rumors. I don't know.
That's a first.
So Leafs wise, like, I don't want to leave from the Leafs yet.
Basically, like, they're trying to get someone to play with Nylander and Tavares. I don't understand what the whole point of it is when you got Wayne Simmons, who's injured. When he comes back, he'll be playing with them anyways. So I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Thornton, who came out like a house of fire the other day.
Guy's got like 8 points in 8 games.
Yeah, and then you still have Hyman, right? So it's not like you could put Hyman there. Like, I don't understand. It's
I don't know. I'm not sold on Hyman.
I don't care who you're sold on. Every player on the starting lineup right now is better than Galchenyuk.
Yes.
So I don't understand the point of him. And
you have Anderson, who's waiting, like, to be called up if need be. You have, and I know Bargo's high on him, and he should be, because we should all be high on him. Robertson should be with the squad.
He's still injured, isn't he?
No, he's playing with the Marlies now. Yeah.
No,
He just played with the Marlies.
But I feel like I'm trapped in a time space thing. Like, why wouldn't you be playing Robertson? He's your number one prospect, and you're not going to let him play?
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if I were Keefe or Dubas, I would let Robertson play with the squad, get some experience in, and then, it doesn't matter if he doesn't play on the second or first line. Let him play on the third line. The third line is the fast line, or the sort of hidden weapon line, whatever Keefe wants to call it. Let him play on that line.
Keefe, like, who gives a crap? Stupid line. Okay.
Like, what's the big deal? I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Or even put him on the fourth line with Jason Spezza. I don't know what the big deal is. Like, give him some playing time.
I'm confused now. Do you have anything else with the Leafs? I remember you had something.
I was going to talk about Tavares and Nylander. It looks like they're struggling as of late. I'm kind of glad, or kind of happy with what Keefe did the last game in the third period, maybe the last 10 minutes of the game, where he broke up the Marner and Matthews line, paired up Matthews with Nylander to get Nylander going, and paired up Marner with Tavares to get Tavares going. It looks like it worked out, because Tavares and Nylander both got a goal each in that third period. So hopefully that translates into tonight's game against the Habs, and they both can, like, still be productive. Because it looks like, I mean, yes, they're getting assists, but it looks like they haven't scored in so many games, with the exception of the last game.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't feel like Nylander really fell off. I feel like he's been pretty all right. He hasn't been putting up points like he was at the beginning, but he did the last 2 games. He played pretty good. And I agree with you on those changes. I think that we overhyped Tavares in the beginning. I think he was playing good because of the situations of what was happening on the team. I don't know if he himself was really playing as good, and we just kind of got blinded by the stats. But I don't know. I'm so happy that he's not on the first line. That's all. Like
Tavares, we've always known that he was a point-a-game player. You know what I mean? It's not like he was going to get like 100 and some odd points. He's pretty consistent that way. And it looks like he's still doing okay. It looks like he's 18 games and 16 points.
Yeah, and Nylander has like the same type of thing. He's like 18 points in like 15 points in like 18 games or something like
He's got
that.
14 points. 14
No.
points. So they're pretty consistent, but I guess it's just it was. I think the issue was that they weren't scoring. They were getting assists, but they just weren't scoring. So I guess the whole point of it was just to get them going in terms of getting their confidence back in scoring. My other question was like, so Auston Matthews is on pace. So in the past 80 some odd games, he's had 63 goals.
Wow.
And there was this thing being thrown around yesterday on the different sports channels, and they were saying that do you think that Auston Matthews can hit 50 goals this year?
50 and 50? Yeah, I saw that. I think so.
Yeah. I don't think so, because we know that teams get better as the season progresses. Okay, it's going to get tougher. All right. So it's going to be tougher for Auston Matthews to score goals, I say, in another 10 games, because Ottawa's getting better. They're a team that don't quit. Edmonton has gotten better ever since the return of Smith. Winnipeg has been pretty good. Vancouver, damn. And Calgary, it looks like they're getting better. Goudreau's starting to play better as well. He's sort of getting his game back. So I just don't think it's possible that Matthews, I think it would be close, but I don't think he's going to get 50.
I think it's possible. I don't know if he'll do it, but I think it's 100% possible. How many games did he already miss? One?
One.
Okay, so this is my math. My math right now. He's on pace right now, goals for games, right? I think he is. Or he's like one
He's
off.
16 goals in 17 games.
Okay, so 16 and 17. So he missed one game. There's 56 games. If he gets 3 more 2-point games, that lets him have for the rest of the season that he can go 8 or 9 games without even scoring a goal for the rest of the season, which is pretty, like, in his standards of hockey. If he does an 82 game season, that's like 16 games without a goal. That's pretty like legit.
Yeah, well, we have to also take into account that Marner has been seeing the ice very well. He's been the guy to set up Matthews. All right. So if he falls off, it's going to be even harder for Matthews to score.
I think Matthews is probably the only Leaf that creates on his own, like to an elite level. Because Marner can create on his own, but Marner doesn't have a goal scoring touch. And Nylander can score goals, but he can't create his own opportunities for some reason.
Yeah, but Marner plays on his strengths. He's a setup guy, so he's going to set everybody up. I agree.
But a lot of the setups, I'm not going to take away. He makes some great passes and he's a great playmaker. But I think I would say like 70 to 80% of those setups are like just a pass to Auston Matthews who's open. They're not like a crazy through the ice over 5 sticks. Like 15-20% of them are. But Matthews is still scoring goals just off passes that anyone would have passed to him. And I get what you're saying. And it's not a guarantee, but it's possible. Like, who knows? What if he does? It would be nice. Do you have anything else for Leafs?
Do I have anything else for the Leafs? It's nice to see Michael Hutchinson get a win 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
After that bumpy little ride from last year.
I mean, he played well in the playoffs for Colorado or whoever he was on.
Yep. That's it for me. I mean,
okay.
Looks like Lennon comes out, Bogosian goes back in.
Yeah.
Hyman comes back in tonight. He was injured or banged up the night before. That's it.
All right. So off Leafs news that heads into the NHL. Tyson Barrie's playing amazing. I'm just going to put that out there. And I'm going to move on very quickly from that.
Is he playing better defensively though?
Yes. Not an elite level where I would be like, oh, I can't wait to have this guy come help my team defensively. But yeah. So there's been a lot of buzz. Actually, this is kind of Leafs too. There's been a whole lot of buzz on basically everything I can find that's saying that the Leafs are going to make a trade at the deadline for a rental player where the team will retain most of the salary and the Leafs will give up picks for that to make them retain the salary. And they're saying that there's potential that it could be someone huge. I know this is so like speculated because nobody actually knows anything and it's in the future, right? Like we don't know any of this, but that's apparently a big rumor right now.
So they're trading picks for a big time.
No, they're
player.
gonna trade. They're gonna make a trade for a player, and then they're gonna give the team picks to retain like almost the whole salary. So like they would trade Buffalo for Taylor Hall. I'm not saying that's who, and then Buffalo would retain the whole salary because he's a UFA, right? The list of UFAs on Buffalo, Ottawa, Detroit, and I don't remember the other team, but one of the other like bottom place teams is pretty crazy. There's a lot of big names there that could get moved. And
Okay,
I
sure.
I don't think
let's see any team take on that or try and retain the salary. Sure.
If they could, if they're gonna, if he's gonna be a free agent next year, that means you only have to retain the salary till the end of this year. And if you're already paying him, then you're not really doing anything. You're just continuing to pay him till the season's over. And if you're last place, you're gonna get draft picks, right? I mean, I don't think the Leafs are gonna do this, but some team is gonna do this. But apparently, Hall and Buffalo are working on an extension. That's what I read.
Okay.
So,
well, I guess when it happens, you can.
Yeah.
I'll apologize in advance, but I feel like that would be.
I don't think the
stupid.
Leafs
That
are
would be
gonna do it.
stupid on any team that would want to do that.
Why?
Why would you want to retain all that salary?
Till the end of the year? If you're
Because
last place, you wouldn't take extra draft picks to continue paying the guy you're already paying?
Well, it kind of.
The Leafs, okay, if you want to talk about stupid, the Leafs retain a chunk of Phil Kessel's salary that they're still paying, aren't they, this year? It's been like
1.2 million over 8 million. What are you talking about? It's not a good chunk.
8 million for 2 months or 8 million over 8 years.
But they still got a lot of cap space. It's not like they're doing. It's not they're retaining like 8 million over 1 year. It's just 1.2.
Yeah, but you're affecting your cap over so many years. Buffalo doesn't need that cap this year because they're not.
Get it, but you're asking for someone to retain the full salary over a year.
Yeah, but I think a team would do it for a first-round draft pick, especially when you're going to be drafting so high this year. You're already going to get a bunch of picks, plus you're going to get that pick. I'm not saying it's going to happen, right? I'm just making the argument. Okay, so the last thing I have is the big names that I'm seeing tossed around. Okay, so the Bruins, I went deep into Bruins territory for this, which is not a place where I like to be. They're very interested in getting Ekholm from Nashville and Virtanen from Vancouver. And they've been apparently actively pursuing Virtanen for like the last month, since the beginning of February. So I think if Buffalo were somehow got both of those guys, which I don't think they will, that would be like a deadly set of pickups. But also apparently,
you said they were going to Boston.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said Buffalo.
Oh, my bad. I meant Boston. I'm sorry, guys. Good catch. Also, Washington and Philadelphia are also in the running for Ekholm. And I think that those are all Eastern Conference teams. Those are all top feeding Eastern Conference teams. I would be, if I'm the Leafs, I'm a little bit worried that any of those teams gets Ekholm because that's a big pickup. If Boston somehow got Ekholm and Virtanen, you're looking at trouble in the playoffs if you run into Boston.
They won't have to worry about it until they make the playoffs. So,
I mean, but isn't Boston second place? Isn't it like Toronto, Florida, Boston, Tampa Bay, Washington? Aren't those like the top 5 teams? And then Philadelphia? Holy crap, the East is good this year.
Yeah, but they don't conflict with each other, do they?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. And I think Florida's in the Western Conference this year. Right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're in the South.
This is so strange because anytime you're going to trade for someone, they got to like isolate unless they're in the same country. They got to isolate for like 14 days before you have them in your lineup.
Yeah.
That's so
So
crazy.
Boston getting Vertanen wouldn't work, I don't think. I think that you made a really good point. I think logistically, a lot of trades this year are gonna have to be based on like knowing that the guy is gonna have to isolate, right?
Not only that, but I don't even think that they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be a lot of trades at the deadline. I think a lot of trades are going to happen before then because they want that person in their lineup as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think the NHL is gonna have some sort of advanced deadline where they'll be like this 14 days before. They'll be like, if you're gonna make this trade, you have it'll clear at the deadline, right? But yeah, I think I think this is gonna be a really weird trade deadline, and I do think there's gonna be moves. I really really think the bottom like 6 or 7 teams have a lot of rental players available that are all UFAs. Like a lot of UFA contracts were signed in this offseason of like one or last year bridge contracts. So we'll see. I mean,
It's only 35 games left.
yeah, that's true. It's a short season. It's been a weird one.
And it's really like um it's there's a lot of games that are like in such a short period of time. Like
Yeah, it's really condensed.
it's really
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for.
it got pretty bad. I would say. So the last thing I'll end on this for our pool, our hockey pool. Last week, I meant to say this in the last one of the last episodes we did. I had just in that week alone, in the first 3 days, I had like 11 or 12 players missed because of games that were postponed. My first day, the first day of the pool, I had 8 people out, and each one of them was on a different team. 8 players on 8 different teams. Like one player from each team was postponed in my first day of last week's pool. Isn't that crazy?
I haven't looked at the pool in like a week and a half. Last time I looked at the pool, I was in first place. So
Yeah, you're still in first place. If you're not setting your lineups, I don't know how you're still winning because I'm pretty sure you're winning this week as well.
I don't even know, man. I have not looked at it.
Anyways, that's all I have. You have anything?
Well, looks like I'm not. That's it, man.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what time it is.